In this video, I wanted to cover a materials company by the name of Ternium. This company pays a very high dividend and is in the steel production industry. They produce rolled steel, their biggest market being Mexico, and then they also operate in Brazil as well as Argentina. This company's operated really well. They've grown their volumes over time. They are dealing with some low commodity prices that are causing their revenue to go down, and also the revenue has also decreased. But overall, it's a really good company, and I like being an owner in this business. They announced their earnings, and I got a fresh set of financials to update my analysis on Ternium, and I wanted to share that with you. I'll also share with you what my plans are with the stock. As mentioned, I'm a stockholder of TX, and I'll make a decision whether I should buy more shares, hold, or sell my shares in Ternium at the end of this video. So let me get into the fundamentals of the company. To begin with, the company operates in Latin America. The Mexican operation is strategically placed so that it could feed the US market, which is a very good market for the company. And Brazil is also a very strategic market. Brazil is a high growth economy, so it's good that they're in Brazil. Argentina is also a big producer. So overall, I do like the geographic operation of the company, the location. I think those markets are good and they're seeing really good growth. The steel that the company produces ends up in the construction industry, automotive, appliances, as well as containers and other areas, places where you would expect rolled steel to end up in. The company announced their Q2 performance in their last earnings call. I wanted to go over that. First, the company did operate with positive EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, and depreciation. And the decrease in EBITDA is due to the changes in commodity prices. They're dealing with lower commodity prices. The company did operate at a loss, but they were cash positive. Shipments were good in Mexico, Brazil, and other markets. The company operated with free cash flow in the most recent quarter, which is good to see. And overall, for the first half of their year, they're doing well with regards to cash flow. It's good to see the company is doing so, even though their commodity prices are lower. If commodity prices rise, this company is really going to be in a great position. The market cap of Ternium is just 6.48 billion. Over the last year, the stock is down 19.2%. The stock was trading much higher not too long ago, a couple years ago. It's settled down to trade between $30 and $40 a share. Revenue of the company is 18.75 billion. They have a forward PE of just 4. Wow, that's low. And the dividend is very high, almost 10%. 3 analysts cover the company, and they have very strong price targets. If commodity prices rise, this company will be very profitable. It's good to see that with low commodity prices, they still operate with free cash flow. The company has a strong dividend, and they can afford that dividend. They do have good cash flow, so I expect they'll continue to pay a strong dividend, although it'll fluctuate up and down. Looking at their debt to EBITDA, their debt to EBITDA is right on the button, 0.73, which is very low. It's good to see that they have very little debt and they don't have any problems on the balance sheet that I need to worry about. Ternium is expected to do about $7.10 in earnings per share, which is a really strong earnings per share. And they are going to grow that to some extent in 2025, and then it's going to settle down in 26. Again, if commodity prices can just go up, if we have some more global demand, that'll really help the company and probably improve those earnings per share. I'll use this information as I value the company in my valuation model. So how competitive is Ternium? Do they have competitive barriers? Do they have a real lock on their marketplace? Well, let's take a look. Ideally, I like buying companies in the green, they have very strong moats, really strong competitive advantages so that competitors can't enter their market. Then they can operate almost like a monopoly, high profits, high cash flows. Ternium is not quite in a market like that. They're more in a market that does have some competitors, but there are barriers. You just can't open up a mine, extract ore, and just operate a company like this. It really needs some capital, some know-how. And in this case here, Ternium is really operating well. I don't think they're going to see a bunch of new competitors come into the market, although they could have some foreign competition that is doing a good job in producing steel. So they're in the gray, and I'm carefully investing in this company, making sure I get a good acquisition cost and to monitor the company every quarter. Ternium has a lot of intrinsic value. In fact, I believe they're discounted by 51%. Looking at their free cash flows, they're discounted by 23%. If I take a cash flow forecast, add cash, take away debt, and then discount those cash flows that I expect by 10% as a discount rate, I compare it to the current stock price, and it's discounted by 23%. Earnings per share is even better. It's discounted by 108%. That's primarily because I'm using a PE of around 10. A PE of 4 for a growing company just doesn't make any sense. I'm going to use a 10 there. When I blend the two and I put more weight on free cash flow method, I get a 51% discount, which is a strong discount on this company. So should I buy, hold, or sell Ternium? First, I really like the company. I think the company really shows that they operate very effectively, and I like the competitive barriers that do exist, especially since they're in markets that are really good. Mexico, serving the US, Brazil, those are really good markets. I do like balance sheet for the company. It's a very strong balance sheet, and I really like the discount as well. So I'm going to be buying shares of Ternium. We're in a down market right now, so I'm going to be careful to buy on dips and continue to accumulate shares in Ternium. So that's my video on Ternium. I hope you found it interesting, and I appreciate you watching.